just turned into
94.5 Whoa FM.
And this is unfiltered, untracked, and underground radio like you've never heard before. There are no sponsors, no scripts, and just the truth. This is your host,
Jed Mitchell.
Okay, so I'm going to start with, who exactly is Taln? Where did your group come from?
Taln is a private military company. We obviously have seen our exploits on the newspaper in Bosnia and Iraq. We served there in the Gulf War, alongside the United States military. Needless to say, we came to Solstice on private business that I'm not going to be sharing, but needless to say, we have lost contact with our headquarters because of this damn storm. So we are actively looking for new work.
Okay, what does TALN stand for? I know that the survivors have started calling it Talon. I assume you guys also pronounce it that way. Does it stand for something?
It stands for Tactical Aegis Legion Network.
Were you guys ever associated with any official military or government before the fall, or just always kind of private?
Our personal backgrounds will remain private, but overall as a company we've been staying as a private military company, and we've been contracted by various governments.
Some of our backgrounds vary. Some of us have previous military experience before coming into the PMC. Others were handpicked from academies, etc. It just depends on the person, really.
So I've heard about some altercations, standoffs, if you will, with survivors. Do you target survivors instead of helping them? Reason, or does it there a reason that these standoffs come off as so?
I will say that most of the survivors seem to be either panicked or seem to be overly confident. When we stop them, most of the time when we stop survivors, we're asking for IDs, and most of the time they do not cooperate, which results in more hostile approaches. Otherwise,
yeah.
when it comes to certain survivors, people who tend to dig their nose in our business, we do not really appreciate that, and we value our privacy, and we value the honesty of the people around us. So, which is why we will be targeting people who will be doing that.
You said you asked for ID. Do you expect people to hand over a paper or an official identification document, or do you just want them to identify who they are?
Mainly just to identify who they are and what they're doing. Yeah.
What's your response to the people calling you bandits or terrorists?
I think it's quite ignorant. I think the people fail to understand that we have nothing. We've come here and we've started with nothing. We've needed a way to build ourselves up from the ground up. We've lost contact. We're alone. We have the right to ask for their ID if they're near our compound. If they claim that pointing a weapon at someone in front of our own front garden is hostile and is an act of terrorism, then they themselves are hypocrites, because we have been shot at and fired at when one person has driven past a simple mechanic shop.
Okay, moving on. Why did the situation with Francis Kreel arise?
Situation with Francis Kreel arise because he wouldn't stop digging into us, I guess you could say. Kept trying to figure more out us.
I also have more information on that chemist if you want me to elaborate.
Yeah, you can get it.
Also, supposedly Francis Kreel took pictures of Talon members and documents as well, supposedly. When approached and asked to delete them, he refused, if I was correct from the field report that I read.
Correct.
Needless to say, we did not appreciate that. Felt like our privacy was being leaked without our consent. Chemist, you can go ahead and pick up from there if you'd like to, since you guys saw.
I'll quickly add on to that. Sorry. We also found him loitering around our vehicles and making notes about the faction too.
He kept trying to dig in about our past, specifically, not just the PMC group Taln. And as you can tell, we are very private about our past. And as Crow has said, we asked him to delete the pictures of the file. He did not. I think we've asked him plenty of times before that happened. And, I mean, you can want to do it, but it's the only way I guess we could really get to talk to him. He did act violent during that, from what I remember. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Did you see him as a threat because of his ties to, or potential ties to the SNC, or was this more of a personal?
If you want to answer that, Crow, you can go ahead.
Yeah, it was definitely more of a personal thing. We have no issue with basically nobody that's on this island. I mean, like I've said in previous statements and posters that I've posted out with Talon notices, like we said, Talon, we're here on strict business. As long as people don't interfere with that business or try and snoop us out or look into any of our personal backgrounds, they're not going to be approached by us. They're not going to be threatened by us. That's all I have to say basically on that. But Francis Kreel was doing that, and it was a direct threat to Talon and its operatives.
I would like to say that, sorry to interrupt, I would like to say that I feel like we've built relationships with some of the people on the island, one of them being the small cafe owner down the street, or restaurant owner, one of the two. We've not actively been hostile with her, we've been very friendly. Similar with the petrol station owner, what's her name? Rose? Gertrude?
Gertrude,
That's it. Gertrude, yeah, that's that. So we're very friendly with them too, we're not very hostile with them. And as you can see, we're not just going out shooting people for the sake of it and just taking their shit.
Oh, so of course, do you guys actively recruit members, or do you pretty exclusive organization?
I'll answer that one. I wouldn't say that we're actively recruiting right now, but if the situation arises, we'd be happy to take capable new members, assuming that they go through training, of course.
So, would you consider anyone to join, would you give them like an extra level of protection, so to speak? Like, should they feel safer because they join you guys?
I will say that you don't have to join us to feel safer. If you simply become more of a patron, then we will protect you, and we will have this kind of mutual respect thing going. If you're good with us, we're good with you. If you're actively paying us, we're going to do everything you want us to do.
That's pretty much how it is. We treat our patrons well.
Of course, of course. Just a few more questions. Do you ever regret the people that you hurt? Like, do you feel like every justifiable?
I would say it's regrettable that it had to happen. But in some situations, they were the ones that escalated.
Do you see a future for Talon that doesn't involve violence?
I mean, I would say so. We're here to offer our services, protection services, extractions, escorts, item collection for the people of the Solstice. I mean, I guess it just depends. The greatest enemy, more than anything, for Talon is the infected.
Okay, so if the world somehow stabilized tomorrow, could you ever integrate into regular community?
I would say so.
Okay.
We would just go back to what we were doing before.
And just one final question. Why should anybody trust Talon after everything that's happened? Like, instead of fearing it, why should the people trust you?
Well, we've already got 2 patrons who will remain private and confidential. Their names will not be disclosed. We have not actively been hurting everybody under the sun. We've only been going after the people who know information about us. And that's just because we value our privacy. And I think that people would think the same too. If we went around snooping into other people's business, I think they'd be very hostile and very aggressive about it. And I think we acted like any other normal person would.
Alrighty, and do you have any final...
Yeah, I'd like to end on a note. If you're interested in reaching out for any contract services, reach out to Radio Channel 248.
Alrighty, and that's where we're gonna cut it.
94.5. Whoa.
FM.